Today's stop loss cluster video for the 10th of March 2021 for the QuasiDB service. We'll start with the dollar CAD because this was a trade recommendation that went out yesterday in order to sell based on the sentiment and the bubble deviation. So it's going well. I did get stopped out, but at a profit because what I did, I moved my stop ahead of break even, so it took me out and I made like 10 pips, but then I re-entered. So I've been quite busy. It's been profitable and looking quite positive to the downside. The moving average trend is all descending, and we're seeing a lot of stop loss clusters being targeted today because of that US CPI data. So yeah, it's looking good. We've got a descending trend line and we've broken the ascending trend line here, and at monthly pivot at 12692. So all roads crossed at monthly pivot, so that is definitely of interest. We can zoom out and you can see that confluence line, so that's just a reason to be bearish because of that alone, and plus the sentiment as well, and with an average trend. So target one below is 12563 and the one above is 12745. So it's going to go well. We do need some risk on because then that way the dollar will weaken. So, and also keep an eye on the oil as well. It's a bit of a tricky one, but it's looking promising. AJ one above 8412, 8338. There's your monthly pivot. So you'd buy dips because we're above. We are buy, and we're buying the signal on the technical. Moving average trend is all ascending as well, so that looks likely. AU stop loss cluster got hit. We are below monthly pivot, so be careful. We are buy, signal saying to buy. SLC was at 7736. SLC below is huge at 7613. EA stop loss cluster got taken. You can see how we're wicked quite strongly off that SLC, so it's took that liquidity and bounced. At one below it was 15399 and above is 15480. Descending trend line, there's your break, and the signal saying to sell and the sentiment saying to sell. EU SLC, another one, 11915. One below is 11865. There's a break of the trend line. We're below monthly pivot, so do bear that in mind, and we were below monthly pivot all of February as well. So it's 2 months in a row we're below monthly pivot. GU, there's that wick. We're taking SLC out. This is crazy. 13927. One below is 138 on the dot. We are a buy, signal saying to buy. Monthly pivot is 13908. So assuming we hold above, we've got a bullish bias, technically speaking. Okay, so do keep an eye on your monthly pivot, and we can use it as a support. So you can use it as your stop loss as well if you want to be quite savvy. NU above is 7212 and below 7093. We are a buy, and we're signal saying to buy. And this is one of our signals, and we'll do the signals overview after this, but I need to get the MyFX book expert advisor running, and currently it's not uploading the data, not sure why. EJ above 12964, 12875. We're a buy, signal saying to wait. We're below this trend line, and we're below this trend line. We haven't crossed, and there's looking like there's a cross up here. It's 12939. So technically, perhaps somewhat bearish there, but we're buying the sentiment. Pound yen. This is on a huge roller coaster. One above 15130. And one below is 150.46. Signal saying to wait, and the sentiment saying to buy. Looks like they're selling it. It's just so when they sell it, it comes up. Dollar yen. There's the stop loss cluster. Got triggered. One below 108.31 and above 109 on the dot. we're a buy. My FX book are very, very skewed, 12%, so could be a reversal, and that if it falls, then it could, you know, sync with that logic. That they've got so squeezed, you know, it needs to come down because it's taken all their stops potentially. So yeah, they tend to lead the pack with my FX book, and the other guys tend to follow. So keep an eye on your stop loss cluster. We're very bullish. This is MR2, so 108.15, so it could come down and bounce off that. Dollar CAD recovered. Dollar Swiss on above 93.19 and below 92.69. There's the break here. You can see how it respected it. And here. And here. So we're below that now. We've respected it a few times. There's that one there. So yeah, I mean, I think we probably should come down and get that. It's undecided, 50-50, and the signal saying to sell. Quick look at S&P, and of course we're in bullish mode because the sentiment is risk on, like you would know by looking at the risk calculation. Because the guys are not only short, but they're adding to that bias, and by doing so, it pushes price up to take their stops. And there's that trend line that I drew from a couple of weeks back, and it came into play quite nicely, and we did fall quite significantly. There was that the yield curve crisis, and then the NFP beat, and we just rallied. So your monthly pivot is 3813. So just remember that, and you're bullish above, and so you buy dips. And when we're below, you sell the rips. So I'll just wrap up now. We'll try and get this MyFX book thing worked, you know, configured, so we can give you an update and how we're doing. We are long from memory NU, AU, and I think GU, but I'll report back. And do note that we're taking out liquidity on GU and AU as well, and we have not done it on NU. And so I think this is a likely candidate. So get the SLC indicators from FXSSI. Use my promo code, which is QuasiDB, and you get a massive discount. Definitely get the SLC indicators. Then you can, you know what to do. Because if the size gets smaller, then it's the score blue's got their money, and then we can fall. Especially if we go below monthly pivot, things like that. So I'll wrap up now, and I hope you have a good day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.